What's good, YouTube? Your boy Eardrum Assassin. Today we're going to be comparing authentic to UA sneakers. What's the difference? Are they worth the money? I don't know. Let's find out. So YouTube, I went and bought myself a pair of fake, I guess you would call them fake. Some people call them UA, some people call them replicas. Air Jordan 1s. They're part of the Fearless pack. I figure why not? They weren't too expensive. And we're gonna go over the differences and if they're actually worth the money to buy UA sneakers over retail sneakers. Right off the riff, guys, you can totally tell the difference in the color of the boxes. This one's a deeper red. This one's kind of more of an orangish red. It's definitely got a different kind of sheen to it. So it's definitely a different type of material. It seems a lot shinier on the fakes, on the UAs. Second thing is right off the bat, you notice the labels are different. If you look at the labels, these are the authentic. These are the UA. You can totally tell the difference in the font and the labels. Definitely different. The Jumpman on the UA is actually a lot bigger. So yeah, that's some of the differences right off the bat. Next, we're gonna open the boxes. And as you can see, the authentic pair has a batch number inside of it. It's got the swoosh and the Nike. The UAs do not, and it definitely feels like the box is a little cheaper. It's got the swoosh and the check, but there's no batch number inside of it. Now, just looking at the sneakers real quick, you probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference if you didn't know what you were looking at or what you were looking for. After inspecting the sneakers really well, I know what I'm looking at, so I can tell the difference just by looking at them. Another thing that is a dead giveaway is the paper. The authentic come with white wax paper and the printed wax paper. The printed wax paper is definitely more bold. The UAs didn't come with the white wax paper, and a lot of the printing is actually kind of wearing off, and it's not as bold as the authentic pair. Now that we have the sneakers out of the boxes, you can right off the riff tell the difference in the toe box from the real to the UA. There's some YouTubers on here, I'm not gonna mention their names, but they'll tell you, swear up and down that they know materials and that the UAs use the same exact materials and stuff like that, and that is absolutely false. I don't care what he says. UAs definitely use a different type of material, and they definitely have a totally different smell compared to authentic or retail, as some people like to put it. And this is exactly how you can tell is this Fearless tag is a part of the material that they used on the sneaker, and this is totally different type of material. It's way different. This has a nice tumbled look to it. This does not. Also has a weird dye to it. This is dyed correctly. Actually looks like two pieces of overlay over a piece of material. And this just looks cheap and thin. This also has the writing on the back. This does not. That's a dead giveaway right off the bat. Another dead giveaway right off the riff, guys, is the embossing on the toe cap. This actually feels like a totally different type of material than the authentic pair. It also has crazy amount of glue stains around the toe box. Also around here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but there we go. There is a lot of glue stains on the UA pair. As for the Wings logo, They're pretty identical, except this is not embossed in. You can see the authentic pair is embossed. The UA are not. It's definitely just printed on that piece. I will say the stitching is pretty clean on the UAs. Haven't really found too many faults in them in the stitching. You can also see the difference in the material from here to here. This has a much deeper embossing compared to the UAs. And this material is definitely different also. It's definitely not the same material. Colors are also different. I don't know if you guys can actually pick that up, but from here to here, it's totally different color. These up here, the collar, totally different color. The blues are almost dead on, except the authentic has some sort of, I guess you would call it washed out look to the baby blue, and the UAs do not. The thread color is definitely different. This is more of a bright red. This is more of a deep red. As we examine the back, you can definitely tell a difference between the authentic to the UA tag in the back, and also the shape. The shape is definitely a little warped compared to the authentic. Now that could just be manufacturing defect or whatever have you, but they're definitely different. The font is definitely different on the little tag in the back. And also I noticed the tongues are totally different type of material. These are really, I guess you would call cheap and thin. These are a lot thicker. And the one thing I noticed about this is the threading on the tongue isn't knotted. The stuff down here isn't knotted, so eventually it's gonna unwind compared to the authentic pair, which is knotted up. So it's not gonna unwind over time. The color of the laces is definitely different. These are more of a, I guess you would say sail. These are definitely white. So that's another big difference. The materials on the toe box. These are definitely a tumbled leather. These are not. So that's another way you can tell the real from the fakes, or the reps. The tags on the tongues, almost identical. You almost wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two. This might just be because they're different sizes, but how close the stitching is compared to the authentic pair. It's definitely a lot closer on the UAs compared to the authentics. Another thing I noticed about the authentic to the UA is the UA has this tiny weird little line going around where the yellow and the cream meet on the sole. And the authentic doesn't really have that. I don't know if you guys can see that difference, but it's definitely a way to tell. God, this is, I mean, if this wasn't so deep cut into this material right here, you probably almost wouldn't ever be able to tell the difference just by looking at them. Guys, I don't know if you can tell, but the fonts and the insoles definitely different. The colors are pretty dead on, but the fonts on the authentic is definitely bolder. Difference in laces. The authentic has a thicker cap on it. The colors are pretty similar, but it's definitely a thicker quality cap on the shoelace compared to the UAs. The Outsoles, definitely different colors. This is more of a mustard. This is more of a bright yellow. So there's definitely a difference. Another dead giveaway, guys, is the extra lace bag. The Authentic will come with a Jordan lace bag, which is a lot taller and skinnier. I think they might actually be about the same width. But even the quality of the bag is totally different. The quality of the bag on the Authentic is way better. There's also a slight color change in the laces. Not much, but you can definitely tell. And these on the Authentic pair are just kind of thrown in the bag. On the UA, they're wrapped up. The Authentic also has the Jumpman on it. The UA does not. So that's another dead giveaway from real to UA. The smell, some other YouTubers on here will say that you can't really tell the difference in the smell. I could totally tell the difference from the second I flipped the box lid from the real to the UA. So there's definitely a different type of smell. And I can tell it's from the type of materials that they're using on the UAs compared to the Authentics. So there you have it, YouTube. If you're a sneakerhead like me, the differences from the Authentic to the UA are pretty drastic compared to what other people on YouTube are saying. They're definitely not the same exact materials. I mean, you can see right off the riff that these are definitely not the same type of materials being used in the sneakers. Now, not all UA are probably going to be like this, but I can tell you pretty much all UA. Yeah, I guess I will say all UA will have a distinct difference between real Authentic to the UA. They're not the same materials. They don't smell the same. They don't feel the same. So don't let other people on YouTube fool you, telling you that they know the truth and they know materials. And if you do stupid things like rub the side of it and it starts to come apart, that it's real. Like, you can totally tell the difference in these type of materials right here from Authentic to fake. I guess you would say fake, UA, replica, whatever you want to call them. They're not the same. They never will be the same. And I guess that's how they managed to get away with making UAs compared to Authentics. And I can tell you they're definitely not made in the same exact factories as Authentic. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. And I'm going to be buying some more UA sneakers and comparing them to Authentic pairs. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next one.